I mean, the thing is about being from Charlotte, North Carolina, we live in a place where it's like a pipeline. Like, we get everything from the south and then we get everything from the north. You got people from New York that come down. You got people from Florida that come up. You know what I mean? So I feel like the beauty in being from Charlotte, you got a person like DaBaby, you got a person like Fetty P. Franklin, you got a person like Mavi, then you got somebody like Reuben Vincent, where it shows different avenues of what was raised in Charlotte. And in Charlotte is also a place where you had East Charlotte, you had West Charlotte, you had South Charlotte, and you had North Charlotte. So I feel like what I bring to the game is, you know, that real soul, you know what I mean, and soulful music. I'm a student of A Tribe Called Quest. I'm a student of Outkast, early Kanye, you know what I mean? That's what I was raised on. And then also, too, the legendary North Carolina group that Ninth Wonder was in, Lil Brother. You know what I mean? So to be able to be a part of that tree, I get to show that representation to Charlotte. You dig what I'm saying? So, hell yeah. Honestly, bro, I think it's been like a on the run for these last 2 years. But one moment I could really say is honestly like the last couple months, right? So what really happened is, honestly, the last 2 weeks, I just put out the album, and I'm getting calls from people, or people calling Ninth, like, yo, send me Reuben's number. You know what I mean? I'm getting calls from, like, legendary NFL players like Torrey Holt. You know what I mean? Absol giving me his number after the album coming out, be like, yo, DJ Head from the West Coast. Like, all these different pioneers, these different people that's in the industry, not just the music, but sports, calling me and being like, yo, the album is incredible. You know, and it's also like a beauty for me because of how authentic the album was. Like, I did it all in North Carolina, but like away from like the industry. And for me to do it how I did it, and then people reacting to it how they are, it's just showing that, okay, you on the right path, bro. For real, for real. When I first met Ninth, I was like 13 years old recording in my room on a mixtape, right? Like recording, I put a mixtape online, and then he was on Twitter one day doing Ask Ninth. And mind you, I didn't think my mixtape traveled anywhere. Like, I thought I put it up, people like, oh, this a kid, like, we ain't taking him serious. But somebody listened to my tape and had the nerve to be like, yo, Ninth, I don't have a question for you. Mind you, this person's from Oakland. I'm from North Carolina. I ain't never been to Oakland up to this point. And he was like, I don't know this kid from nowhere, but he's from around where you from, and you need to check him out. He's 13. And Ninth was like, the fact that he said he didn't know who you were, and the fact that you was 13, is like, he must be spitting for him to say that to me. So Ninth heard it, he was impressed, and then he shot me a DM and was like, yo, like, where's your parents? He talked to my mom. He was like, yo, bring him down to Raleigh, which is like 2 hours away from Charlotte. I pulled up for like 3 days and recorded 9 songs in 3 days. And he was like, what? And he told me, he was like, yo, I can't promise you nothing. And he still was like, yo, I want him to be a kid. So, you know, he allowed me to get a little bit older before he eventually was like, yo, I want to sign you to Jamla. And then when he signed me to Jamla, he was already a mentor there, but it became like a big brother, little brother thing, no pun intended. You know what I mean? And we, after that, the relationship just continued to blossom. And as I grew into my own man, Rock called him, not even him sending me to Rock, like, yo, we trying to sign this kid and mess with him. They saw a video he posted and was like, yo, we want to help this kid. And then we ended up doing the joint venture. And ironically, a lot of people don't know this, but up until the Rock deal where we signed it together and it was a business partner type of thing, I never signed no contract with Ninth. Ninth was just telling people I was on Jamla to help me and build my leverage, and he just wanted to see me win. But we didn't do no business until I was old enough to know what the business was, and like us doing it as partners via him signing me as a kid and putting me in some crazy contract. So I want to do a record with Pharrell, and I would love to have a verse from Hov at 3 Stacks. You know what I mean? Like, that's just pioneers. Those are legends, people that I've always looked up to. And then honestly, outside of that, I would love to do something with Stevie Wonder. You know what I mean? Like, imagine a Stevie Wonder record, you know what I mean, where he's actually playing on it. It's not a sample, but he's playing over a knife beat, you know what I mean? So my first answer is Pharrell with a Hov a 3 Stacks feature, and then a knife beat with Stevie Wonder actually playing over it. Classic. Yeah. I know it sounds cliche, but authenticity take you further than anywhere. You know what I mean? A lot of times we get caught up, you know, trying to be something we not. You hear people in your ear like you got to make these type of records, but all the legends that are known and the people that are like big, they only did it being themselves. And that's all you can really do. And then also too, Ninth gave me this one, and he heard this from somebody else. I don't want to butcher the name, so I ain't gonna say it, but be careful the foot you step on, because you never know what leg it's attached to. So you gotta treat the janitor just like the CEO, you know what I mean? Treat them with grace, treat them with respect, treat them with kindness. Unless people disrespect you, that's when you gotta let motherfuckers know, you know what I mean? But other than that, you treat people with respect, bro, and that shit pays off further than anything.